Gonna hold that up for Florian there. Get well soon. Get well soon. Hello, welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel. My name is Emil. We're going to be looking at Newcastle's trip to the Amex American Express Stadium. It was a tough one to take, I'm afraid. Newcastle's lack of interest in the second half saved Brighton from the drop, you'd think, unless they cock it up, which I'd like them to. But we got a point at the Championship runners-up 2017. These are your player ratings for Newcastle United, starting with Martin Dubravka. I think he did well under pressure. Quiet first half. Brighton didn't even have a shot on target, did they? And yeah, I think that he did well under pressure before the goal. There was some nice saves in there, nice saves all round, to be honest. And he seemed to deal with what was a bit of an onslaught from Brighton. And a particularly nice save around Brighton's penalty claim when Glenn Murray jumped into the sea. I don't know, I'm not sure if he was maybe out too early or too late for the goal, but obviously he was pretty exposed when Gross's header came in. But I don't know if it looked like maybe Dubravka had left it a little bit late to come to him. Never mind though, you know what, it's not the end of the world, he didn't let in too many. As ever, that goal difference is really just working wonders for us, and just generally goals conceded in the last few years, all right, particularly this year. Dubravka is making a difference. We'll give him a 7 for this one. Manquillo, okay tracking, he's doing that thing where he kind of stops one player coming, but again we seem to back off a lot. Manquillo was quite guilty of that a lot, but rarely tested by Brighton, I don't think. We didn't really see much of him. They didn't do much on the wings in that first half, they just let us play basically, and he did struggle with a little bit of the pressure, so it wasn't a dreadful game from Manquillo, but I think, again, he was one of those players that just switched off in the second half. So 6 for Manquillo. Fernandes, similar, some good effort to keep Murray out in the second half. He was panicked by Duffy in that one that where it went out for a corner. And then obviously Gross just ran in for the goal. He kind of ran straight past Fernandes. It's a shame, but I don't think it was a terrible game. Again, a lot of the ratings that I'm going to give today have gone down a point from if we'd won, because that second half, I don't know what happened. I didn't see Newcastle. I just kind of sat watching the match going, oh, Brighton attacking again, Brighton attacking again. Fernandes gets a 6. Share, he had a tireless first half, I think. I think he's one of the better players in that defence. Nice passing play in that first half. I'd like to judge Share on that first half, that brilliant run-in that he had into their box, where he just kind of kept going and going and going, and you know, he nearly scored. This is the player that is playing centre-back for us. Share has to be one of the bargains of the Premier League season. Like, how he didn't actually manage to get into that maybe team of the year is ridiculous, to be honest. So yeah, Share had a decent game, but again, second half, he was in that defence. I think he dealt with most of it. He got a little bit heated at times, but you know, I wouldn't mess with Share any day. Beautiful bugger as always, probably putting his rating up here. Give him an 8 on this occasion. Dummett, again, I think he had a magnificent first half. Really liked what he was doing in that first half, and you know, testament to him. He put a wonderful ball in to set off Perez just before Perez got injured early in that first half. Obviously for the goal, he put that ball into Rondon. I think it was mainly down to Brighton giving Newcastle a lot of room in that first half to just do what we want. But yeah, got into the half. Second half, he just under pressure, but I think he was sensible, quite calm, similar to what we saw when he played against Southampton when they had their resurgence in the second half. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a win this time, but yeah, Dummett always seeming to keep his head. 7 for Dummett, Lee Ryder special. Ritchie, again, I think he had a decent first half, but he got really fiery in that second half. He was really bringing back some of the memories of the Championship, I think, against Murray, against Knockhart. But, you know, you like to see it. It can be dangerous, but I think, again, Ritchie kind of succumbed to the pressure of Brighton. 7 for him as well. Like I say, these would be better ratings. I hope you don't think I'm being too harsh. But yeah, I just think that was what really happened. You know, they're all missing a point because they all went missing for the second half. Anyway, Hayden, similar. Well, sorry, no, we're going to go to Shelby first. We'll get to Hayden in a second. Pretty chilled one today, as you can tell. Shelby, nice to get a bit of game time. I'll give him that. Brighton obviously let Shelby play Shelby's game. He was getting into a bit of a stride. He was enjoying it. Some of those long balls nearly led to a penalty for Newcastle when Rondon went down. Should have been. And Brighton gave him that room to think. Again, kind of went quiet in the second half. Didn't really do much to change the game. There was like a long shot special from Shelby, but Brighton were blocking everything at that point. Key came on towards the end, but really it was just a bit of a salvage job to make sure Brighton didn't do any more damage. Going on to Hayden, who I've just mentioned. Hayden, he did all right to try and force Brighton back. I think he was better in the first half, putting in some of those brilliant challenges as always. But Brighton did cut out the centre as always. We saw Hayden just take a bit of a back step. And again, second half, just where was he? Cut out really. 7 for Hayden as well. I'll give him that. Did I say 7 for Shelby? There's lots of 7s today. Atsu. Right, okay. So I know he's got a tough game to come into. Obviously, we've been used to the prowess of Almiron really charging at teams, and it could have been devastating for Brighton. But yeah, some of the chances he got, he seemed to run into space. It was similar to the old Atsu that we see quite a lot of. And he ran through, he got into space, and then was looking for where to put it next. And that kind of sums up Atsu in general. He's not as strong as Almiron when it comes to kind of like chasing balls and beating players, but I don't know, he made the numbers up really. 6 for Atsu on this occasion. He went off for Muto, who did come on, and you know, I feel for Muto because I really wanted him to get a bit more out of this game. I think all of us wanted to see that. The last 10 minutes really, it was a case of he wasn't going to be able to change the world in those 10 minutes, but then again, you know, should he have been on from the start? I would have liked to have seen Muto on from the start, because then he could have done what he did against Man United. Anyhow, that was that. Perez, great goal. That was it. That's all we saw from Perez, but I think that the fact that Newcastle seemed to go into a bit of a shell when Perez went off summed up what he was doing for the attack. Him and Rondon working up brilliant play, and he fired that ball in with some class. Perez, brilliant goal. I'll give him an 8. I know he was on the pitch not very long. People like Key and that weren't on that long, you know, didn't really do much. But Perez obviously got the goal, which got us the point. And I'll give him an 8. Kennedy came on. Right, I was ready to give this guy my house keys this time last year. You might have done more. The wife, the girlfriend. I don't have one at the minute. But you know, he just... What has happened to that guy? He was a different player last year. Some wild shots, wasting chances. I know that he helped some in the first half. Obviously put that ball through to Shea before he was tripped over. Yeah, I don't know. Kenny just doesn't inspire me with anything. And it's such a shame, but there's something not right. Lads on the podcast were saying this the other day. Clearly, something's not right. And now that Almiron's in there, what is it Kennedy really to do? It's a shame. 5 for Kennedy. I have to mark him down. It was one of those games where Kennedy could have had absolute joy against Brighton. Perfect team to come back against, have a bit of a crack, get these last few games out before you head back to Chelsea, and maybe present yourself with a bit of a shop window in the window. Clearly not. Rondon, I think he amazing assist, showed exactly why we need to keep that fella. He did his duty in defence, but he made a nuisance of himself. However, you know, it's a shame because obviously Rondon is there to make the most of chances. Chances weren't really taken, could have killed the game off, but again, fallen foul of that second half curse that we had. 7 for Rondon on this occasion. Yeah, and you know, that's it. I think it's a very relaxed video for a very relaxed Newcastle game. Injuries were showing. We missed Almiron, obviously. Old Florian at the back. Not that Fernandez did a terrible job, nor did Shea. Yeah, the injuries are showing, the work rate taking its toll. All of that effort that they've been putting in these recent games obviously is starting to mount on Newcastle, which just goes to show why we're going to have to invest in the summer. First get the manager. That'll be a start. We've got 2 games left, limping to the finish line. Brighton let us have free rein in that first half, let's be honest. It was a bit similar to Southampton. Came out guns blazing in that first half. We did what we thought we needed to do, and then as soon as they turned it on, we kind of just went, oh, shite, what's going on? This is a team who can play all of a sudden. We let them have it, unfortunately, but fair enough. Team who are battling relegation, you know, it's fair enough. We just looked tired, didn't we? I'm really tired now after this week, and it's a point at least. We'll see how we crack on against Liverpool. However, last time I made a joke about playing a team at the top first, we went and beat Man City. So, well, I'm dreading that game. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. The lads will be back with the Always Smiling Faces podcast. The only podcast that you need for anything to do with Newcastle. The only videos that you need for anything to do with Newcastle, because we're pretty legit. We're all pretty good. You know, we're just normal guys. Thank you. Keep subscribing. Keep liking the videos. If you didn't like it, then, you know, don't watch them.